Over the last 2 weeks, I've sort of been struggling to come up with an idea that I've felt happy about. Whilst I've been stressing about video ideas, it kind of led me to reflect on what videos I have already made, and that at the start of this year, I made a goal to sort of make a video every week. And I've been keeping that up for the last maybe just under 6 months. What have I learned over those 6 months? So despite the fact that I've been making videos for longer than 6 months, inconsistently, I'm going to speak to you guys about 6 months of making videos consistently. Finding your niche. Now, whether you watch a lot of YouTube or not much, your favorite YouTuber posts consistently about a certain topic. As important as finding your niche is, I think it's also important to not let that hold you back. Especially as a small YouTuber, if you feel like making a video about something that's a bit different, the best thing to do is to do that, because it teaches you like different ways to make videos about different things. I feel like if you stick to one thing the whole time, it makes your the way you think about it a bit one-dimensional. Not all the time, but I think it's just important to post what makes you happy rather than trying to stick into this one little area, if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, just ignore that. Equipment won't make you better. I suppose it can make you a bit better to an extent, but I think if you have a camera, a microphone that's decent quality, maybe a tripod, then I don't think you really need much more. The reason I'm saying this is because when I've been making videos, I've been thinking, oh, maybe I should hold out to make this video once I buy this bit of equipment. Maybe I should make this video once I get a better camera. And it just leads you down this rabbit hole of my videos aren't going to be good enough if I don't spend this money. And yes, that is true to an extent, you have to invest in equipment, but at the same time, I think it is so much more valuable to just think outside the box and be creative with how you film things, getting creative camera angles, or if you see something that you like from somewhere else, see how you can replicate it with the bare minimum equipment. I think this really just helps you be more creative. Your videos won't be perfect. There's been times where I've filmed stuff, edited stuff, and obviously it's not perfect. It probably never will be. But just because it's not perfect doesn't mean you can't post it. I think it's important to post what you've made, and then you can see, if you have a look at your old videos, you can see, oh, I did it this way, but next time I want to do it that way because blah 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 blah. I think that's very important, because if you just never post it, you're never going to have the chance to look back at it and see what you can improve upon. Every channel grows differently. What I mean by this is not to get discouraged if you're not getting a certain amount of views, or if your last video got more views and this one didn't do so well. Half of that is down to luck, but the most important thing is to be consistent in posting, making videos, editing videos. The more you practice, the better you're going to get. So the more videos you make is the more training sessions you have. So making all these videos has really helped improve my editing, especially how quick I am to edit something. Also how efficient you are at editing, organization skills, setting up everything so that you don't have to reshuffle things around later. And then just getting creative with how you edit it. How can I use this editing to make a video that's not necessarily that interesting? What can I add to this to make it slightly more interesting? How can I cut this together? How can I add a certain effect just to keep the viewer entertained? I think that's something I've definitely gotten a lot better at. In terms of how I use my camera, it's definitely helped with what sort of shots I use. I used to just be very one-dimensional with how I'd shoot things, whereas now I'm sort of I'll get 3 different shots of that same scene just to give me more variety whilst I'm editing. I think that's really it's really helpful, and it really gives you more options when you're editing. As well as that, it's made me much more comfortable with my camera, in terms of using settings, setting up the aperture or the shutter speed or the ISO, for a particular shot. Now I get into my camera and I know if it's a dark room, I've got to adjust these settings to suit. Whereas at the start of this, I'll be honest, I didn't really know what settings to change to get what effect. And the last thing I want to speak about is how it's improved my confidence. I think like when I started off making videos, I felt very nervous and shy to like pull my camera out in public. Like I'd bring it in a bag. As well as feeling like embarrassed to film in public, I was also like very nervous when it came to speaking to a camera, which I feel like I still definitely am far from perfect at, and I still feel uncomfortable doing it, but I feel like 100 times more confident than I did when I started making videos. You're still not going to catch me in public with a tripod set up and everything. Anyway, that's what I've learned in 6 months, and if that's not good enough, come back in another 6 months.